Good evening. It is I, Jim Lettuce, your fearless leader. I'm making a new episode of the podcast. This is episode 12 of the Temporary Space Show, broadcasting live. Is it that second life that I really want? That's what I want to ask. But without, hold on, let me get rid of this music. That boring music. Before I get started, I have a title card here. So this is stream live. I'm going to look at the comments in case anybody wants to talk, but usually people watch it after I upload it because it's not that long. We're going for half an hour here, okay? This is what's on my mind, okay? This is what I feel like talking about. It's still not showing up on the YouTube app, so if you're leaving comments, I'm unable to see. I might have, I might have to start over. Hold the phone. Let me see what my, no, it's on there. You have to click a thing called Make Archived Unlisted when complete, and it's checked. I think we're good. Stream health is good. Whatever. All right. Enough ado, okay? Welcome to the Temporary Space Show. Yeah, that's right. We got intro music. Let me make sure you can hear it. Oh, wait, I can't. The whole point was to play it. Anyways, just let's rock out for a second. Yeah, that drum and bass, courtesy of Audio Blocks. Shout out. Oh, let me start a timer here. Oh, I guess my intro music's over. Okay. So this is the Temporary Space Show. I'm your host, Jim Lettuce, fearless leader. Let's go back. Here's our website. You can find all the links or the stuff below. It's also in the description. You can buy some shirts on Teespring. Follow us on the stuff. Yeah. You get it. Anyways. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Let me mute my mic. I can see if the audio is working. Or you'll just get a feedback loop. Enjoy. Anyways. I think it's working. We'll just assume. So I got a list of topics. I have an outline. It's not exactly scripted, but, you know, I have a plan. Some kind of plan. So the main title of this is it that second life that I really want? It's no secret that life is a bit darker these days for various reasons. And so there is this natural urge to try to escape. People do it with movies and TV, what have you. But, oh snap, Johnny's working. He said audio's working. Johnny is watching. Shout out to Johnny. I play Red Dead with Johnny. He's the homie. What's up? Welcome to the Temporary Space Show. Anyways, people have this urge to escape. And I do it with games too. And No Man's Sky is like the new escape. And I want to talk about some other stuff. We're going to talk about Death Stranding and Final Fantasy and Neuralink, Elon Musk's Ghost in the Shell thing. It's going to be sweet. Netflix has a lot of cool stuff. Has a lot of cool stuff coming out soon. And then we're going to talk about YouTube. But No Man's Sky, that's my new favorite game. It's like a crafting, space exploration kind of thing. It's a lot like Conan Exiles. I'm gonna pull up a picture of No Man's Sky. Let's see here. So No Man's Sky released under a lot of controversy. It was a broken game like most games these days. Here, this is a more accurate picture of it because it's got multiplayer now. Hold on, I have a screen. There. Ah! Inception. Hold on. There. See, I purposefully waited to play it, to buy it and everything, because they had a few updates. I knew it seemed like it would get fixed eventually, and they finally added like multiplayer and stuff, so I'm trying to peer pressure my friends like Johnny to get this game. But well, let's see if it's working on the YouTube app. We might go over time today. Oh, it's actually working. Okay. But they added multiplayer, but it's kind of more like it's very similar to Conan Exiles. Conan Exiles is a crafting game like that. Here, let me does that change my screen back? Yeah. Let me find a picture of Conan Exiles. Conan Exiles made me like the idea of a survival game. Let me find an accurate picture of Conan Exiles. Here we go. This is it. This thing, it's you have to forage for resources. Like you want it, like if you want an axe, you literally have to go to a tree and chop it up. Kind of like Minecraft. I would say that Conan Exiles is like Minecraft, or more like a fighting game with Minecraft crafting stuff added to it, whereas No Man's Sky is more like Inception. No Man's Sky is more like a crafting game with space exploration added to it. There's really not a lot of fighting. There's a little bit of you can fight space pirates, but it's mostly a resource gathering kind of thing. But the music is great. And since the newest update, I think it's like the third one, it was called Beyond, they actually made it where there's more planets that are cool looking, because apparently when it started there were not that many. You'd show up on a planet and they'd all be like ugly planets, but like all of them would be like that. Oh, okay. So it's Johnny leaving comments. I see. Did it send you a notification? I want to know if those things work, because we're going to talk about that later. But YouTube, they're actively suppressing notifications and stuff like that. Of course, I don't think I'm a big enough channel for YouTube to go after me. But let's see. But what I was getting at is that you're living another life. I'm building my character aesthetically, something I would do in real life, but now I'm doing it in a game. I do the same thing in Red Dead Online and Grand Theft Auto. And there's a social aspect. Like when I got a cool tattoo, I showed my friends like, "Hey, look at this cool tattoo that I got on my fake avatar character that's not in real life." You know what I mean? But it's like it is another life to people, which I kept saying Inception. It's there's a scene where they meet all these dirty people in a room in Inception, and they're all like hooked up to the dream world, and this old dude's like, who are you to say that their reality is real or fake? Like to them, the dream world is the real life. And so people have been doing this for a while with WoW and such things. But I feel like I guess I do it with No Man's Sky, and it's awesome, and the music is awesome. And I'm going to stream more the next time I play it. But let's talk about Death Stranding. If you don't know what Death Stranding is, if you've been living under a rock, let me see. Death. Okay, so Metal Gear Solid. Everybody knows what that is. The creator of that, he got kicked out of Konami. There was a big fight, basically, and he got banned from this like award ceremony that was for him. And then he was basically like Charlie Sheen when he went all crazy. He could do anything he wanted. Everybody was offering him truckloads of money, and so he went to all the different studios looking for. Or I think he joined with Sony, and then with Sony was like, I'm gonna go look for a studio, and he basically found the engine for, God, what's that game called? I bought it and I never played it. The girl with red hair and she fights robots. It's the people that made Killzone. Anyways, he used the engine of them. Let's see if I can find it. Killzone developers. What was it called? It was a big hit. Guerrilla Games. Let's see. Horizon Zero Dawn. That's what I'm trying to find. Let's see. I'll show you a picture. I bought this game and I never played it. Here's a good screenshot of it. Anyways, these developers made this really crazy engine for this game. And then Hideo Kojima was like, I want that engine for my game. And he had just done Resident Evil, or not Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid 5, the last one with Konami. Konami still owns it, by the way. They used that engine to make the other game engine for Metal Gear 5. They used it to make some zombie Metal Gear game, and everybody hated it. But Hideo was like, I want this engine. So they used this to make Death Stranding. Now let's see. I'll find a picture of that. This game is so crazy. Here, I want to find like a gameplay. That's such an ugly screenshot. Is this better? Whatever. Alright. You get the idea. Basically, the people made jokes that it was a walking simulator. And it kind of is. There's boss battles and stuff. But, oh, that one looks cool. I think it's the same one. Here's, like, the promo. The boss battles are cool. It looks cool. I don't know. It looks kind of boring. But, this is the new game that he's making. And it's got Norman Reedus, the guy from... Norman Reedus, the guy from The Walking Dead and The Boondock Saints. And it kind of started this trend. They've always had Hollywood stars in video games, but this was a real high-profile thing. They tried to make a not Resident Evil, a Silent Hill game with Guillermo del Toro, but it was in production hell, and it fell through, and they never finished it. But Norman Reedus was going to be in it. Here he is. And so of course, he got him to be in this game. And I'm super excited about it. But it also looks like that Second Life. It looks like people can kind of... you kind of explore... It also has elements like Dark Souls, where people can leave... Because in Dark Souls, there's a function where you can leave literally notes on the ground. And people can read them. It'll say, look out, that's a trap, or go to the left, stuff like that. And people can do that here, but it's more, it's not just notes. People can leave ladders to help you cross a canyon or whatever. It's super interesting. They're saying it's a new genre of gaming. I don't know about that. We'll see. I think that's good hype. But I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. And, so they said Breath of the Wild is an influence of this game. Now, I never played Breath of the Wild. I watched my friends play Breath of the Wild. I watched Macintosh, shout out. I watched him play it, and Jesse Ponington played a little. And it's not really my thing. I hate puzzles. Puzzles make me want to turn the game off. I just don't like puzzles in games. But they said they were heavily influenced by Zelda, and you can see that almost in Metal Gear 5. It's a lot more open world than any of the other Metal Gears were, and I think that's why Death Stranding is like full on open world. I'm excited. I hope it doesn't suck. Let's see. Let me pull up some gameplay. I hope that I do not get a copyright strike. I'm gonna mute the audio, because YouTube. YouTube's been getting a little uppity. Let's look at some gameplay. because they just had some PlayStation E3 type thing, and let's see. I don't want to full screen it. That's gonna make me get a copyright flag more. I don't want this. I want to see him like running around. Well, here's a boss battle. Alright, it's working. So it was kind of boring to watch him narrate it the whole time and you're just reading subtitles. But there's a lot of highlight reels that are better. He just had it. It shows the evil things you fight. Alright, Hideo Kojima being cool. Okay, there's Norman Reedus. And he has a cool arming thing. There's all this, like, you have to make sure your boots are, like, you have to replace your boots. Ooh, you know what? I better mute that. The mic is picking it up. You get the idea. Where's the gameplay? Here's him walking around. This is the walking simulator part, where a lot of it is you taking I think what most of the game is you take these packages to undiscovered areas, kind of like those EA games where you have to unlock, or not EA, kind of like Ubisoft games where you unlock a tower to unlock this area. That's what you're doing, except you're Norman Reedus and you bring a bunch of suitcases. And I mean, we haven't even gotten into the crazy story where there's like, here, let's pull that up. I think we can play that without getting a strike. I'm gonna take a chance. I want to watch it, at least part of it. Like the whole thing about how like the rain, it makes you age really fast. We'll call it Death Stranding cinematic original 2. We want the second one. The teaser. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Well, let's see if I can do it. It should be fine. I don't think this itself is copyrighted, but maybe. Maybe. I don't want to deal with that. That's such a pain. Is it streaming? I can't tell if it's lagging because like my poor baby laptop can barely do it. Yeah, see, here's the guy, the rain is like making him get all old and stuff. I almost would rather just watch. Oh, and then, oh yeah, there's also babies and like fish tanks and dudes that fly. This game looks so crazy. I'm excited to play it. Well, let's see, I think that was all I was trying to say about Death Stranding. It looks crazy. It could be that new next world that people really want. But I am kind of worried that it could end up being boring. I don't want to do a walking simulator. I want to fight stuff and level up and show my friends my cool outfits. Okay, now I want to talk about the Final Fantasy remake. It's more of a kind of we need a new name for it. It's not a remake or a reboot. It's like renovating a house almost. They remake it, but they make everything better. So let's see. Let's pull up that. Now this one, I never played Final Fantasy VII. I played Final Fantasy VIII, I think. Let's see. There we go. Thank you, Google. It's the first one that people were looking for. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Battle gameplay. That's what we want. Shoot. I'm going to mute it. That music is definitely copyrighted. Alright, I don't want to full screen it. Anyways, it's basically whatever everybody pictured in their head, and I'm actually more interested in it because it's not turn-based. I tried turn-based. I just can't do it. It's too slow. Me and Jesse Ponington, we tried to do Divinity Original Sin, and we might still play it, but I want to throw fireballs and stuff, and so I might stream this game. I don't know. It's really dark. It's hard to see with YouTube's compression and everything. That's why I try to play these bright games. But this, I'm excited about it. I think it's cool that they are remaking things. Because kind of like in Hollywood, they were remaking stuff for a while. They still do, but now they do this. They renovate it. It's a soft reboot-ish. Where I think this is a lot of different people involved. But it seems to really capture the essence of what people wish it was back in the day. And it's somehow they always do it well. The Crash Bandicoot remakes worked. The Spyro remakes. The new one, Medieval, which I might stream because that game was pretty fun back in the day. But it's also really dark, like the graphics. But I'm excited about remakes. I've heard they're remaking Alpha Protocol. That game is like, if you ever played Mass Effect, it's like Mass Effect but with spies. And it was one of the coolest games I ever played. And they might be remaking it or doing this kind of thing, like renovating it or whatever. I hope so. Alright. Talked about turn-based. Oh, I basically covered everything. Anyways, I'm excited about the Final Fantasy remake. It looks cool. I might give it a try. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I wish they would, like, I almost would rather just play the new Final Fantasy. Let's look at that one. What was it, 15? Because it's all patched up and done, you know, since games are broken when they are released. And the whole, like, camping aspect, I get that more. Because a lot of it was like, I don't want to play. Here it is. I didn't want to, when I heard about this game, I was like, I don't want to go camping and stuff. It reminds me of San Andreas, where you have to, you know, exercise. But I think the camping is more of a game function like it is in Red Dead Online. Basically, Red Dead Online helped me understand a bunch of other video games. So I guess that speaks a lot about the game. All right, look at all this fan service. Jeez. Where's the... I want to say, oh, here's the camp. There you go. See, this looks a lot more like Red Dead to me. Like I think I might have to stream this game. It'd probably be better because the Final Fantasy VII remake. It looks kind of. See how bright this is, and it's new. I like doing new games. You know what I mean? New, bright, colorful games. So I guess that's all I had to say about Final Fantasy remake. It looks cool. Maybe a little dark. I might play it anyways. We'll see. Okay, now I want to talk about Neuralink. Hold on, let me drink my Coke. You hate turn-based. Okay, Johnny says, I hate turn-based. This is the 7 remake. Yeah, it does look cool, right? I almost want to play it just to play it because it does look cool. I want to be the dude. I don't know the guy with the gun, but I want to be that guy. I almost wish it was multiplayer, but I don't know if it is. I think it's just single player. Anyways, Neuralink. Okay, if you don't know Elon Musk, he's basically Iron Man. He's actually, I heard he's building a suit. Neuralink. Let's see. Let's stick with pictures. That'll cut down on the copyright flags, if there are any. Neuralink, Elon Musk. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, I guess like in cyberpunk in general, there's the concept of like computerizing your brain. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Great. Look at this. This is a meme waiting. This is a good meme template here. So, in Cyberpunk, from the beginning, I assume, computerizing your brain and virtual reality and going onto the internet with your mind is like a thing. And we are taking legit, maybe strides. That might be a strong word. We're taking strong steps, rather large steps to actually doing it. I want to see if I can see. They put a little chip. Look, see, and then it goes in your brain. Oh, here's it. That's what we want. This. What? Show me the there. It's like an implant that they attach nanodes to your brain, and then they screw in this thing to your brain, and it looks a lot like creepy Jared Leto's thing that he has in Blade Runner 2049. Let's see if I can find that. Let's put it side by side. Jared Leto, Blade. I've seen it a lot. Like the form factor they use is what I've seen in other movies too, like Elysium. Ear piece technology. Let's see if that. Come on, Google. I know you know what I want to see. Well, I can't find it. But basically, in the movie, creepy Jared Leto has this thing, and this lady like adds a different attachment. But this is it. And they interviewed him, and he said that what we want to do is digitize. They're initially doing it to help people that are handicapped, so that they can, if they can't move anything, they can get to where they can use a computer. And I know they got one guy where he could play Pong without hands and legs. Like he was a quadriplegic, couldn't move, but they got, he volunteered, and they're doing human testing. Here it is, to treat Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. And so, like most awesome technology, it's developed for medical purposes. But I, for one, am super psyched about it. As soon as I can, I want to get digitized and go into the net. This is a big overarching theme in Ghost in the Shell. Let's see. Ghost in the Shell just happens to be my favorite anime of all time, so we're going to talk about that as well. Where's a good... Here we go. Ghost in the Shell. This is a huge overarching theme in that show, because this is a screenshot from the first movie. I should make a whole podcast about Ghost in the Shell. I love that show. I love that whole... They're making a new one, actually. But in the movie, she's this robot, and forget about the Scarlett Johansson one. That one was... They ruined the story. But in the anime, she's this robot, and at some point, she's always has this like existential crisis, like, am I really a human? Because like she was in this like horrible accident as a kid, and everything but her brain was cyberized. And then at one point, her brain had to be like cyberized as well. And so then she's like full robot. Her consciousness is the only thing that's real. And in the tech world, I guess, and especially in this anime, the idea of a ghost is like your soul. Like, is there a ghost inside this like robot shell, or is she just some robot with memories, And this is a question you're constantly, hence the name Ghost in the Shell. But the Neuralink allows us to, it gives us the privilege of having that problem now, is that people are going to be even more confused and depressed because they can go on the net and never come back. And what I was getting at is that at one point in the movie, she does that. She decides to just go into the net with her consciousness and actually leave her physical body, like, through Wi-Fi or whatever. And I guess what I was saying is that I'm there. I so want to do that. But also, I wouldn't want to... I don't know, that's scary. Like, what do you... Okay, here's the Scarlett Johansson. This movie was so bad. I knew it was going to be bad, but it was bad. Here we go. This is season 2 of the show. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's go back to Neuralink. So they interviewed Elon Musk, and he said that obviously they got the guy to play Pong. It's working. It's baby steps here, or rather large strides. He said that they can get the connection and information, but the problem is bandwidth. Apparently, the human brain puts out so much information, these wires they have, they just can't handle it. Hold on, let me make sure that my mic is still on. Okay. Inception. The wires are not big enough to handle it, literally. So they said that once they figure out a bandwidth problem, we'll probably be able to do anything we want. Any kind of Ghost in the Shell, whatever. Like, I like the idea of getting, if you've ever seen Elysium, at one point the guy transfers to a new body, but it's a robot body. And I want to do that too. I want to live to be like 500 years old. And be, like, can you imagine how much money I could make in 500 years? Man, you know, I could be like creepy Jared Leto in that movie. His name's Neander Wallace, and he's like this guy, this crazy billionaire that averted famine because in Blade Runner, after the Harrison Ford one, these androids basically they set off a bomb that did an electromagnetic pulse, an EMT bomb, and it blacked out all the records for everybody in the world, I guess. I think they had like other bombs around the world as well, and it wiped all the records clean. They talk about this in Blade Runner 2049, but if that happens, like, you could, I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked with Blade Runner now. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited about Neuralink. I'm not going to do it, though. I'll probably be too old before. Maybe, I don't know. The thing is, I wish I was just like the kids that aren't born yet. The kids that are going to be born in the next, like, 10, 20 years. They're the ones that are really going to take advantage of this stuff. They say that the millennials, were constantly screwed over by our generation. And one more thing is that we're probably the last generation that's going to live to be old, which could be good or could be bad. I don't know. I wouldn't mind being in a robot body at some point. But I think I think eventually it'd be like how vampires do in movies, where you just get tired, you just want to die, and you're just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to just unplug me, you know? But we'll see. I don't know. Right now, the average lifespan of people is like, at least for men, I think it's something like 80. So the future of the company. So I think the future of this company is, I don't know, it's quite volatile because with all the rockets and Elon Musk, he's not the safest bet per se. You know, he's an innovator and he's one of those great minds and all that jazz. But I know that the Tesla company's doing okay. For a while, it wasn't looking too good. And then the rocket company is always almost going bankrupt. But then again, that's how he made his money. He had PayPal, and they almost went bankrupt. That was his first company. That's how he got to be a billionaire. He sold it to somebody. I don't know who he sold it to. But so I feel like the future of Neuralink specifically is that they'll end up developing for the military. They'll be fine. What do I want to see? I want Inception. I want Sword Art Online, but for real, you know? That's what I want. That would be so cool. But then you have to worry about viruses in your brain, just like in Ghost in the Shell. Just, you know, oh man. I'm going to watch Ghost in the Shell later. Okay, now, what's our time? We're going way over today. Ooh, we're already at half an hour, but screw it. We're going over. Okay, I want to talk about 2 more topics. I want to talk about Netflix. For a while there, Netflix was looking a little shaky. Their stock went down because they raised their prices, and Disney took a big chunk out of their library because they start their own. And this was all before Apple showed up to the game with Apple's new service, which is, what is it, like $5? Let's see. Apple streaming service plus price. It's like $6. $5 a month, and that's for the whole family to use. Multiple users, so like 3 to 5, I think. And then But the Netflix has gone up. It used to be 10. Netflix monthly price 2019. It went up to like $13.99. It used to be $9.99. And that's for only, I think that's only 2 different users, maybe 3. But, you know, with the big competition and things like HBO has their own service, everybody has their own service now. I predicted this, by the way. I don't know if there's a record of it on some, you know, blog. But I remember I knew this would happen. Every company has their own service, and everybody's crying about it. I think it's great. We can pick what we want. We don't have to have all that other crap. But it does mean you have to pick and choose. So it kind of sucks, but I don't know. It doesn't really bother me. I'll just, like, I think I'm going to get Amazon Prime pretty soon. Because I got to see that show, The Boys. But anyways, Netflix is heating up. And so at first it was looking shady. But there's a lot of new content Netflix has. Let's see if I can find the Netflix YouTube channel. I'm definitely not going to play any of this, even on the screen muted, because it's going to copyright the heck out of me. But I want to see what their newest... There's like a whole bunch of movies they're about to come out with in shows. Let me make sure everything's muted. Like the Beyond the Two Ferns movie, which we're actually going to review on the Netflix podcast that I do with Miles. Just go to What's New to Netflix. The website's on Tumblr, but you can search that on Facebook. We're literally the only group on Facebook called that. That's the best way to find us. We're reviewing that for the next episode next month. Anyways, but they have the new Two Ferns movie that came out of left field. What's in September? No. You want to know what's new? Listen to that podcast. Don't go to the Netflix YouTube channel, even though I'm literally showing it on my screen now. Okay. Let's just take a look at the uploads. I think it's working. They've got new stuff of... What's that guy's name? The director of Iron Man, Jon Favreau. They've got his new cooking show. I really want to look at the movies, though. The Irishman, that's a big one. This is the new Martin Scorsese movie. It's got Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino. Joe Pesci came out of retirement to do it. Not to mention the Dark Crystal movie. I almost want to make a whole podcast about that show. Or like an episode at least. I'm super into that. I feel like I was going to talk about that on this episode. Anyways, the Dark Crystal is perfect. I think Netflix is really good at scratching that nostalgia itch and cashing in the right way, that kind of nostalgia. Like, you could argue that The Irishman is Martin Scorsese nostalgia. Obviously, he didn't quit making movies, but, you know, movie theaters really are basically dead now, and streaming is how people watch movies now. And so it's actually kind of crazy to see a Scorsese movie on Netflix. Now, I know that he made a deal with them where it's going to release in theaters. You can imagine him going, I'll only do it if it's in theaters. That's my Scorsese impression. But I think, you know, you're kicking a dead horse. I'm not going to go see it in the theater. I'm going to watch it on Netflix. Something with Cardi B in it, whatever. I don't want to do this to show what's on it, but I want to talk about the new one. Okay, El Camino, the Breaking Bad. So I guess what I'm getting at is that Netflix has a lot of exclusive content that is going to keep people on their platform. It's going to make them less likely to go away and get HBO Go or Hulu or whatever, because I know Hulu also has a deal with Disney, so you can get like Disney, Hulu, and ESPN all together. And get this, it costs the same as a cable, which is what we wanted to get away from. Like, this is why I don't complain. I can watch what I want, and I spend, $20 a month? That's it. Okay, so obviously the Breaking Bad exclusive, the new Breaking Bad movie, that is hella, that is a steal. Whoever finagled that deal, they get a raise. What else? A lot of their exclusive shows are really good. Okay, so what's happening now is all these platforms are competing. Hulu, the big ones, like I guess the top ones would be Netflix, Hulu, and Apple and Disney. They're all competing. They're basically like the consoles with video games, like the PlayStation and Xbox. We're looking at console wars. And the name of the game is, first of all, it's exclusives, but it's also third party. You need both. You need exclusives like Breaking Bad that we can only get there, but you also need other stuff. I know they secured, because see, a big problem, one of the biggest chunks that Disney bit is remember Disney bought Fox. So when they took all their Marvel movies out of Netflix, they also took all the Fox content. So that's why Netflix lost Friends. I'm 90% sure Friends is a Fox property. They took it. Friends is off. And that's one of those third-party things where you need a game that the casuals are going to play. And I know that they made some crazy deal. Let's see. Hold on, let me look it up. They made a deal to get Seinfeld. Oh my gosh. Netflix. NAB streaming rights in 500 million. Oh my gosh. Just for Seinfeld? I don't know. Seinfeld's good, and I'll probably watch it when it's on there. I watched it back in the day. I don't know. I'm not like a diehard Seinfeld fan. I'm not so sure I care that much about Seinfeld, but that's a big seat. This is the kind of stuff. They also lost The Office. I remember that. I don't care about The Office though, but man, that's crazy. 500 million. Okay, so word on the street is that Netflix uses an algorithm to predict their movies, and on my Netflix podcast, we joke about that all the time because a lot of times they have these titles that are like, who came up with that? Only a robot would come up with that title. And apparently it's worked so far. I think Netflix, they spend too much on new content. They spread themselves thin. I mean, look at all this crap. I don't know about all this stuff. Oh, Shadow of the Moon. That's one of the episodes we're doing on the next Netflix episode. Netflix and Chills. That's smart. See, they got a bunch of scary movies for Halloween. I feel like Netflix is heating it up between their exclusives and how they're kind of rolling with what the community thinks of them, a la Pornhub. You can talk smack about the industry of porn, but Pornhub, the company, they are genius. The way they market themselves and the way they cash in on memes and current trends. The Netflix and Chills, it's similar to the way they market themselves. Netflix took a page out of their book. It's genius. Actually, word on the street is that Pornhub is going to start their own streaming service, but not porn. It's just going to be streaming. And I bet you they have the money to do it as well. So we're in the streaming wars era. I'm excited to see who wins. It's probably Netflix. If Netflix plays the game right. Oh, Dolomite. That's the new Eddie Murphy movie. Man, see, this is making people not cancel their Netflix subscription. Okay, let me see. Did I cover all I wanted to talk about Netflix? Yeah, basically. Okay, so now the doozy, the oopsie. YouTube did an oopsie once again, and we're going to talk about it. I don't know. There's all the videos. I'm a little late with this topic. It already happened. They immediately reversed it. Let's see. YouTube. Verification badge. Susan Wojcicki. Vulture. Sure. God, look. A picture of Jake Paul. So here's the story. If you're not a YouTuber and you haven't been paying attention, what happened like last 2 weeks, maybe 3, YouTube, what's happening is YouTube, the Alphabet company owns Google, and then Google owns YouTube. That's the lineage here. And they, a lot of times, as a YouTuber, a person on the platform trying to more or less make some kind of money. And so I guess what I mean is I'm not like a casual person who just watches YouTube. I am, but I also think of it as like I'm like a person on the platform, right? And what they do is they always have these new rules that change everything, and they don't warn you. They don't give you any heads up. Even after it happens, they don't even deny it or acknowledge it or anything. It's like the government. It's awful. And now I'm not like this position because we only have like 160 subscribers, but there's people that have like millions of subscribers, people that their whole livelihood is on YouTube. They built a business, they pay their rent, and YouTube is constantly changing the rules. And when they do that, people lose money. People have to get a real job after that. YouTube doesn't acknowledge that people build their livelihoods around it. And so they're always making these new rules. And the latest one was one of the worst ones. Not the worst, but it really rubbed the YouTube creators the wrong way. You see, YouTubers feel like the underdogs. And by YouTubers, I mean... hold on. Oh, God. The cherry Coke is trying to kill me. YouTubers feel that we feel like the underdog. We're ignored, underappreciated, I guess. But meanwhile, YouTube's like this giant platform now. But you have to remember, YouTube is what it is because of YouTubers. Like idiots sitting in front of the camera being like, oh, today, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's crazy how like YouTube literally doesn't care about YouTubers that much anymore because they went mainstream. And I guess they should. They're publicly traded now. That means they have shareholders that want revenue increase over time. Like if there's no projected increase in revenue, like if you're making bank, they don't care. They want you to make more bank next month than you did this month. And if they see signs that it's either stagnating or worse, declining, which I don't think it is, it's bad. Alarm bells sing, and you get fired, and they get a new CEO. And Susan Wojcicki, or whatever her name is, she seems to be doing better. She's better at actually communicating. But at the end of the day, they're going after big business, and that's why people like Will Smith get on the platform. Suddenly, now honestly, Will Smith, arguably one of the biggest movie stars of all time, doesn't really need help. But he got help from YouTube. And there's a whole thing about the double standard between regular YouTubers and celebrities. Speaking of, Jake Paul and his brother Logan Paul, they get away with a lot of stuff that, say, I would not get away with. And, okay, I'm being long-winded here. What happened was there's a check mark. Let's see if I can find a video, a channel that has a check mark on it. Okay. CNN, okay. Let's do Alana Pierce. That's an official one. I'm going to pause it. I don't want to get a strike. But here, okay, see this little check mark. Now, I think a lot of this all started on Twitter, the blue check mark. It's basically them saying this is official. You're the official you. And YouTube made a sweeping change without warning. At least they told us after the fact this time. But YouTube made a big change, and now basically they reversed it. But let's go with what the original thing was. They made it where basically if you're not a big star outside of the platform, you are no longer verified. You're no longer official. And this was a huge deal because it hurt a lot of big YouTubers. There's some people that had like a few million subscribers, and it took away their check mark. And it's not like demonetization. It didn't affect their views as much, but it was a real slap in the face to homegrown YouTubers that started on this platform. Because you have to remember that Logan Paul and Jake Paul, they are actually from Vine. If you don't remember Vine, it's like TikTok, but before TikTok, and there wasn't music on it. There was music, but TikTok is like wrapped around having music in it, whereas Vine was just clips for 5 seconds, and it was one of the greatest things for the internet ever. I wish they would bring it back. TikTok is basically Vine though, so it's fine. But these guys came from Vine. They're not even original homegrown YouTubers. So they took away the verification. Everybody lost their minds, complained, so then they had to backtrack, and they reversed it. The CEO, Susan, what's her name, came out and said, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if we can find what she said. It was a bunch of corporate doublespeak is what it was. Susan Wakajiki. Susan Wojcicki. I don't know how to say that name. She should just change her name to Susan YouTube. Kind of like Tim Apple, the guy who runs Apple on Twitter. He literally was like, all right, my last name is Apple on Twitter now. Deal with it. And everybody was like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Changed decision verification. Come on, YouTube. Apologizes. Here it is. This is what we want. Susan Wojcicki. Dawn. Okay. I just saw Johnny's texts. Okay. So she had to apologize. I wish I could find the statement. Stop. I'm not going to pay for it. To our creators and users, I'm sorry for the frustration and hurt that we have caused with our new approach. While trying to make improvements, we missed the mark. No, while trying to screw us over, everybody called you out. As I write this, we're working to address your concerns. We'll have more updates soon. That's so corporate doublespeak. But what do you know? That's what they do. This brings to light a bigger issue. Hold on. I don't want you to see my notes. You'll see behind the curtain the future room. Oh, that's all I have. Okay. It brings to light a bigger issue is the future stability of YouTube for smaller YouTubers. Now, I'm trying to go that PewDiePie route. That's the goal anyways. I'm modeling the way I do it after how he does it with the merch and everything. But I'm a small... I don't know if I'm a small YouTuber. I'm just a YouTuber at this point. I think I have to get a little bigger before I'm a, quote, small YouTuber. But, like, I'm starting to worry that maybe I really should go to other platforms. And this is a whole issue among YouTubers. It's kind of people draw a line in the sand. Some people say you should have your audience on one platform. A lot of them say you should hedge your bets and do different ones. There's services that let you stream to YouTube and Twitch. I kind of like just doing one, but the one platform is looking real shaky because, like, while it is Temporary Space Studios is a business, like we pay taxes and stuff, it's more like this hobby that I monetize, and so on the one hand, if it's a hobby that I monetize, being on YouTube isn't that, it's like whatever, I still get flags here and there for stupid BS. Like, I got a lot of copyright flags from Grand Theft Auto Online. That's why I stopped streaming it, because I would turn all the music off and stuff, but then we would do a heist and it would play some copyrighted Led Zeppelin song. And a fair amount of my streams were not only, because when they flag you, it's different from a strike. A flag is not that bad. They usually just monetize it or block it. And monetize it means they make money and you don't. But a lot of them literally just got blocked, and it's like, damn, that cool video on the internet is not there anymore, because, and it's a whole complicated issue, but I don't know. I'm worried. I know Linus from Linus Tech Tips has one called Linus Tech Tips is a huge tech YouTube channel that I also kind of model my YouTube channel / career after. Linus, what's his name? Linus? I don't know what his last name is. He's Linus. But their company literally started their own streaming platform, basically, called Float Plane. Let's see if I can see it. That's a big one. But I'm interested in it. But it's still in its infancy. Wow, it looks really good though. Join, sign in. That's it. Okay, this is the right one. I don't know if I'm showing you the screen or not. There. I think this is definitely one. But I feel like if there's any platform, unless Pornhub comes out with one, this is a good contender. Vimeo's been trying real hard. Twitch was doing okay, but since Ninja moved to Mixer, I don't know. And then Mixer, maybe I should get on Mixer. I'm actually really interested in Floatplane. Is still very cool. It also has a way to auto. I've looked into it. It has a way to like auto transfer your YouTube content, or like dual upload or something. So that kind of dual integration is key to when things change in the economy, I guess. Like, you know, like how they used to have Blu-rays, and when it was DVDs and Blu-rays were new, they would release the Blu-ray DVD combo because they were getting their foot in the door. It means you're not gonna get rid of their movie. You're gonna still watch their movie even when you go to the new platform. And I think that's what they're doing with Floatplane. Let's look at Mixer. I assume it's Mixer.com with that Microsoft money. I mean, I'm interested in Mixer just because Microsoft is a big company. Their cloud infrastructure it's absolutely huge. The only other company that gives them any competition with cloud infrastructure is Amazon. And I think the reason Amazon, I don't want that content there. I think the reason Amazon's doing better is because they whore their services out for other things, whereas YouTube is just YouTube. So I don't know how Mixer does it. Am I showing you? Can you see it? No, I think I'm playing music. Stop. So this is Mixer. This is where Ninja went. I meant to talk about Ninja on a podcast, but I waited too long. Maybe I should get on Mixer. I don't know. I'm going to have to like look up reviews of Mixer. But I feel like we're getting to the end here. This is all my notes. So in review, No Man's Sky is cool. Death Stranding looked crazy. It might be boring. I don't know. Final Fantasy Remake is cool, but it just made me want to play Final Fantasy 15. We talked about Neuralink, which I'm excited about, but we're probably a good 30 to 50 years away from any Ghost in the Shell stuff in that regard. Netflix, content's heating up. The competition with Disney, we'll see what happens, but I think Netflix is going to hang on. They're not going down without a fight. And then the YouTube scandal, the verification. I don't know if I ended that one well. I think what's happening is they are severely neglecting the people that built their platform. And if YouTube is not careful, their core user base is going to go away. And then what you're going to end up with is MySpace. You're going to have MySpace with a bunch of celebrities that are not really relevant anymore. And no one's going to care. So if you're listening, Susan, you should cater more to the original YouTube users, the smaller YouTubers. I know you want those profit margins, but there won't be any profit margins if everybody goes to Mixer. So there, that's my 2 cents. Let's see. I forgot how I usually end these things. Well, I have my outro music. We'll do that at the end. Check out the website, temporaryspacestudios.com, or go to all the links here. Teespring is, you can buy these shirts. We're going to add more shirts soon. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, the YouTube channel itself. We do have a Twitch that I've never streamed on, but that's also twitch.com/temporaryspacestudios. So I guess follow on there. I guess now's the race to try to start a mixer that has that same URL, because I'm all about my SEO. But yeah, that's all. We are way over the time today. What is it? Holy crap, we almost did an hour. Hell yeah. That's real podcast running time right there. All right, well, I'm going to get off. Thank you for listening. Follow us on the stuff. This was the Temporary Space Show. I'm your host, Jim Lettuce, broadcasting live once again. Stay tuned. I'm probably going to get on and stream. Johnny, if you're listening, we should play Red Dead or GTA. I can't stream GTA. Either way, we should play something or not. It's whatever. I might get on and play No Man's Sky and stream that. Anyways, I'm going to hit you with the title page and that outro music. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'm Jim Lettuce. Drive safe and shit. Hold the phone. This is not the music I was supposed to have. This is the music.